Okay, hello everybody. Well, I'm so sorry. I know some of you had planned on watching how the top 1% of leaders manage their time lock clockwork using the revolutionary T5 time management rocket fuel system. And it's the perfect time of the year to do it. My assistant just didn't quite realize that I was helping a homeless shelter actually this morning. And we had planned it like quite a bit ago, but she just wasn't. We didn't communicate clearly on those last couple of weeks. I apologize, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go real quick and I'm going to run through this, and then maybe give you another opportunity if you want to listen well, because this is just too good for this time of year. Because I love to help professionals and entrepreneurs and physicians control their calendar by helping them create lifetime success systems, processes, habits. And I can help you do that in a very short amount of time and get your life set right for this year. Um, you know, I was just reading all these things about resolutions and stuff, and that you're just so much more likely to be able to get your resolutions accomplished, goals achieved with this process because of the accountability and things like that. So, what I do is I help those that are overwhelmed and those who lack focus. People are saying, I have too much on my plate. I don't know where to get started. I help people that are lacking time and just constantly busy. They might say, my schedule's packed from morning to night. I can't find time for myself or my family. And maybe you say, I have difficulty prioritizing and setting goals, or maybe you're procrastinating and have time wasting habits going on. Or maybe you just lack work-life balance. And then there's a few of you who also are trying to run a business, and you're just not sure where to start, or just not having a healthy business environment, or just not getting the success that you want. All of those things, that's why I'm here. And I call this T5 system. I finally got sick and tired of watching everybody else accomplish things and not getting things done myself. And so I wrote T5 system and then time management rocket fuel to apply the system. Okay. So, these are the five things that I'll kind of talk about briefly. And then time management rocket fuel, I have all kinds of PDFs to kind of help you apply it. And a lot of times I'll give you something free for those who are at the end, but I'm not going to talk about that today. So stage one is on leading your time. All right. And so how to get control of your calendar without a planner, and from stress to never getting things done to clarity about your purpose in life and goals, no more barriers or competing thoughts holding you back, and accomplishing each day without stress. So that's what leading your time is all about. And that's basically three of the steps of time management rocket fuel. Stage two is on learning how to lead yourself and others. So, how to get more hours each week, how to, from doing it all yourself and lacking focus to knowing exactly who would be the best support for you, how to get laser focused and find better relationships without that emotional derailing that can happen, and then know what and how to get 400% more productivity through elimination, automation, and delegating almost everything in your life. And then for those of you who do have a business, stage three is about leading your business. So that's how to start your dream business or focus on the most important things in your work or business without wasting another week, not getting paid or achieving your outcomes, and from trying shiny object ideas to instead focus on less in your business to make more money, to make more outcomes, to energize your team, and to know what your numbers are so that you could double your income. So that's kind of the three stages of what we call time management rocket fuel, phase one, two, and three, or stage one, two, and three. And here is the exact step in the right order. And I have all kinds of templates and such to get you started. My first thing I just would recommend is that you write down your goals. You're 42% more likely to accomplish your goals just if you would write them down. And then if you think about this, I love this quote by Jim Rohn: time is more valuable than even money, right? You can get more money, but you can't get more time. Or Tony Stark says, no amount of money ever bought a second of time. I always think about Michael Hyatt here when he talks about these, another year goes by, another year goes by, another year goes by. We only have 80 years. And all of a sudden, if you're not careful, your life goes by, your kids are grown, and you have a life of regret. I think about the people that died early, and some of them, how much they accomplished in such a short amount of time. And how did they do that? Well, it's all around T5 system. My name is Chad Earhart, by the way. I'm the founder of the Chad Earhart Coaching Company. I am certified with John Maxwell, I think the top leadership guru in the world. And I have a master's in business myself. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a father of five. I'm a friend. I'm a human. I'm not perfect, but I just want you to hear I've used these principles. I have ADHD. I struggle with focus. And so these things have helped me. And I finally am being able to achieve the things I really want in my life. And I started looking out there at some of these mentors and others and just trying to see how did they do it, right? So you're going to discover how to get your hours back, how to achieve your year goals, how to avoid those energy drainers and stop missing out on the things that really matter to you, to not live with regret, and to accomplish significantly much more with less stress and less time. I'm going to prove it to you with the statistics. One of them right here is 90% of managers squander their time in ineffective activities, according to Harvard Business Review. And Berkshire Goschel said that it's a lack of focus or it's a lack of energy. And depending on this, you're going to be a procrastinator. You may be distracted. You may be disengaged, or you tend to be over purposeful. Any over purposeful people, and if not careful, overwhelmed and then burn out. And then on disengaged, I did write a thing called Grief Recovery Roadmap, but that's for those of you who are grieving, not just disengaged because you have a toxic environment. So if that is an issue that you're going through right now, I'll be more than happy to talk to you about that. Okay. So all these things is what is perfect for you. And I think that's exactly what I'm saying. So my big promise then for you is that you're going to be able to learn a step-by-step process to do more of what is important in your life and work and in less time. And so let me kind of just do a quick little assessment for you real quick. Did you get done what you wanted this week? Did you work hard, but wonder if you could work smarter? Maybe does your life or work seem unfulfilling? You're not getting out of it what you really want, or maybe you have some big dreams and you wonder why you haven't achieved them yet. And I could go on and on with questions just to kind of pry a little bit, right? Some of you, it may be, are you achieving, is your calendar controlling you, or are you controlling your calendar? And so if any of these things that you've heard sound familiar, then these are just symptoms of a root cause problem. It's not your actual problem. It's called cause and effect. And the cause and effect part is that it's kind of like a clock, right? A clock is an alarm clock is a cause. And if you set the alarm clock, then it has an effect. It will wake you up in the morning, hopefully. And if you forget to set the alarm clock, the cause, then the effect is you might sleep in and not show up to work on time or whatever. So that's kind of cause and effect. And the real reason why you haven't achieved the things that you want in a more efficient and effective way is that you haven't applied the principles of T5 time management rocket fuel. And it really is that simple. We make it hard, but it's just that simple. It's a very step-by-step proven process that just works. And it works not only here in the United States or in Canada, but it also works all over the world. Some of you may be listening to this recording all over the world. By the way, welcome, Amanda. Glad you made it. Sorry, I had to miss my earlier morning call. I was my assistant and I kind of had a little communication breakdown. I was helping at a homeless shelter actually that I said I would help at, and it was good. I had some really good stories I could share today. I love my coaching. I love to see my coaching help people, and not just people who can afford it. And I really like to see if there's a way to be able to help people get through the stuff that they're in the middle of and they don't think they can get past. So anyway, welcome. So let me introduce to you T5 system. By the way, this is for those of you who are like dreamers, but maybe you're a frustrated dreamer. You maybe have ADHD like I do, or maybe you're a leader, but you're busy or tired. And maybe you're a physician, but you're needing work balance, or you're not practicing what you preach. Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur, or maybe you're an overhelper and you're getting off balance. Any overhelpers out there? And I help a lot of smart people, but they're just stuck. and they want to be their best you, and they're luckily they were able to find me today. And those of you who connect, I'll have a conversation with you and just see if I can help. So let's talk about the T5 system. The first one is truth. And so truth is basically whenever you start to think about a goal, as soon as you move towards a goal, you're going to have this, you're going to have some beliefs. You're going to have resistance that pushes against it, especially if it's a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. If it's a dream goal, then you're going to have resistance. And I want us to dream a little bit. That's why I have this picture behind me. It's just like, oh, let's go here, huh? And it's possible. It's possible. This year I'm going to Indonesia. This is my goal. But it's, all things are possible. Even Jesus said that, so all things are possible, but not all things are easy. And so one of the things that keep us back is truth, right? Truth will set us free. And the problem is usually us, right? I am the problem. My beliefs hold me back. But that also means I could also be part of the solution. I used to blame a lot of other things. I'd even blame God, for my lack of achievement. And don't get me wrong, I think God has a will. And depending on your situation, it could be you're going against his will. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is sometimes we blame, our lack on something else, okay? When maybe we ought to look in the mirror, kind of like what Michael Jackson said, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. So it's sad to me that most people have chosen to accept their life rather than lead their life. I got that after I spent a week with John. And it really impacted me so much so that I got depressed. And then right after that, I found myself becoming hopeful. And I realized I need to make a change in my life. And so I did. And part of that is why I am here today. John talks about we have the law of the lid. We all have a leadership lid. And it's why Dick and Maurice, those two brothers in Southern California, came up with a restaurant idea. They tried to franchise it and it failed. But Ray Kroc comes along, and no matter what you think about him, he had a different leadership lid. And now McDonald's is everywhere, right? So that's about truth. Okay. And you need to be able to know those lies that are speaking. I'm too old. I'm too young to start a business. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. All of these beliefs, truth needs to be spoken into those, at least enough so that you're able to move forward. And so how do the top 1% do it? They know how to speak truth into those triggers, the myths, the poor mindset, the limiting beliefs, and liberating truths. Or as Brian Tracy, the time management guru, talks about, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control your attitude towards what happens to you. And in that, you will be mastering change rather than allowing it to master you. Now I'm going to talk to your brain for a second. And I love this research here. Greeks work about 2,000 hours a year on average, okay? Germans work about 1,400 hours, so that's 600 hours less. So what's that tell you? It basically tells you that Greeks are lazy. No, I'm just joking. Because take a look at this. Look at their productivity. Their productivity, though, is 70% higher, working less. Working less. If that doesn't blow your brain, I don't know what will. So it's like, I really want you to hear that you can do less to get more done. Or I've got a millionaire friend, she likes this, she calls this going slower to be able to go faster. So one of my clients says this: I spent my days focused on what I couldn't control, but this helped me think into a better way to use my time. Yes, of course. It was more efficient. I became more efficient, more effective, which, by the way, those are two different words, you realize. You can be a lot of you get on this call because you want me to give you some great efficient tips. And the reality is you can be very efficient and go off a cliff. You can efficiently hit a wall. And we want you to be effective first and then become efficient. And then she says she was more focused. And there it is. She says, I have a new mindset. So that's all about truth, right? And we all have beliefs that can hold us back. So we need to know how to speak into those beliefs, truth. And then secondly, we need to know how to then manage our time. Okay. And so time is important. Don't get me wrong. You're welcome to join T5 System, by the way, .com, if you're interested in this, to learn more about those kind of tips. And these are the tools and the templates and the trackers, all these kind of cool things that can help you with your time. But it's not the only thing. And if you don't do it in the right way, in the right order, it really doesn't matter, because all you're going to do is just work harder, and you think you're working smarter, and you just work faster and faster until you basically just burn out. And so, Atomic Habits, James Clear, I listened to him a couple months ago now, where he talked about you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So it's not just about having goals, it's about having the right kind of habits and about the right kind of systems that can help you succeed. And so this was an example of someone who, you know, she wasn't my typical leader type. And so I wasn't sure if it was going to work for her, but she was a single mom. She had poor English. She went through surgery. She was working the grave shift. Every time I talked to her, she'd fall asleep. She was just trying to figure out how to take care of her daughter. And she said she went from hero to zero, or zero to hero. And she said she'd been trying for 7 years to be able to accomplish the goal of getting a job that she wanted. And she was able to triple her income. And now she's looking for another 10 or 20 grand per year for her life, and that some of the goals that she has of traveling and being with a guy and some things like that. So yes, you do need the time management pieces, and we can talk about that here on the back end. I'm going to answer any questions that you have on the back end. But right now, I just want to kind of give you a quick overview and the principles. So T1, T2, T3 is transfer, okay? So you really want to take it up a level, learn how to transfer, learn how to eliminate, what to automate, what to delegate. So do you know exactly who would be the best support to you without wasting more time or wasting money? Can you be laser focused without emotional derail? And what and how do you 400% become more productive, right? It's through these things right here, knowing what to eliminate, and can you actually do it? Knowing what to automate. Do you know how to delegate in a way that people want to follow you, and so that you don't take things back? I spent $10,000 just learning a principle on how to delegate right there, because I was working in a nonprofit and I had to fire somebody that was volunteering. Oh, and it killed me. And so I said, enough is enough. I'm going to learn how to do this. So you can delegate just about anything, by the way. So imagine, doing less in your life. My daughter has autism. One of my daughters has autism, and her name is Piper. And she was watching this. She came in when I was doing one of these presentations, and she says, "Hey, Dad, I'm hungry." And I said, "Well, I'm doing this presentation. And, those with autism don't always have social cues." And she said, "Yeah, I know, but I'm hungry." So I just gotten like a fresh, like, what is it? Fresh, something fresh, Hello Fresh. And I said, why don't you just try to go make it yourself, And so she used uh, once a recipe, right? And she went and made it, and she had a wonderful meal. We had a wonderful meal right after I got finished doing this talk one time. So you can delegate just almost anything. So how do they do it? That's one of the ways that they do it. They learn how to delegate. Kevin was one of those guys who's a business owner from Texas. And I said, how much money do you want to make? Because he had plateaued for about 5 years. And he goes, I'd love to make $1 million. And I said, well, let's do it. And he goes, I was kind of just joking. And I said, well, how come? And he goes, well, what if I fail? I said, that's good. That's honest. Truth, right? Truth will set you free. And so, I said, yeah, it would be terrible if you made $950,000 this year. Wouldn't you hate that? And he goes, well, I guess when you put it that way. And we started working through those beliefs. And as soon as he got that one, he had another one. What if I succeed? Isn't that interesting, right? His brain, again, pushing against him, and the universe saying, do you really want this? And he goes, yeah, actually, I don't know what I would do, because that means I'm going to have to do a lot more work, and I don't know how to do more work. I'm already exhausted and I'm already doing too much. So, we started using the principles of transfer, and after a while, he began to see how it was possible. And long story short, he was able to make his first million. And it was during COVID, by the way. And this works for nonprofits. And again, there's just a step-by-step process for this. I also work with new businesses and what we call Quick Start Business Kit. I typically just do the first two for most of you who are on this call or listening to this call, but it's the third one, the leading your business. That's what this is all about. And it costs more, a little bit more. But that's what we call a quick start business kit. And that's when you learn to do less, how to get leads, exciting offers and sales and a service that's less. But anyway, that's just for some of you. If you're interested, give me I'll open this up for a conversation in the back end and we can talk. And then T4 is tradition. So it's about how to create a healthy culture, right? So it's one thing to have a dream. It's another thing to have a dream team. It's another thing to keep that dream team and having them rowing in the right direction and excited about it and consistent. And so that's what tradition is all about, is creating the right healthy cultures. Like my friend Janet here, she was in J.C. Penney. She became a founder for her first year of coaching. And then she wanted to do again, second year of coaching, became a founder again. And then she said, I want to do what I want to do. She goes, now that I understand what this is, it sounds like it would be possible for me to like do what's really on my heart. And I said, well, what is it? And she goes, I want to help empower women. So now she empowers women. What's on your heart, my friend? Or are you just going to let another year go by of regret? And then finally, T5 is tutor. So it's coaching and mentoring. This is I think, the most important one. Don't let the simplicity of this fool you. Do you really like being a lone wolf? How much longer does it take if you've never seen something modeled for you? That's kind of part of this principle. It's like, like doing a puzzle without a picture, right? But think how much more you can accomplish when you know what the picture is. And so that's what tutoring is. Bill Gates, he says everybody needs a coach, right? And it's because he's stupid, right? He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's people who don't know it's people who aren't smart that get coaches, right? Hello, 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 wake up. I was listening to Pat Gelsinger. It's been about 3 months now, 4, at the Global Leadership Summit. And he calls it a career map. Yes, we need goals. Yes, we need a passion behind those goals, but we also need the mentors. So we need the people that can show us what we don't know how to do. And so that is very important. That's why I own a coaching company, and that's why I do what I do. It's my favorite thing I do, is coaching people. I think it's one of my greatest strengths. But I love this quote, Dr. Brown. She said, I told my mom, out of all the things that she's done for me, and bought me, which is a lot, buying me 6 months of coaching with you has been the best money she has ever spent. And her mom saw such a change in her that she became a client as well. They both are still clients today. I don't usually coach people much individually, but they were some special people to me in the early days. And so I continue to coach them one-on-one. They pay me, but I do still coach them. But this gal, when I first met her, she had flunked her first year of medical school, and she thought she had to give up on her dream. And I said, well, what do you have to lose? And so she took one more chance at it, and she was able to get a second chance. And long story short, she's a doctor today, and she even had a baby in the process, which is nuts. I would not be a doctor. It's too much work. Uh, So, I could talk about some of my own coaches in the past, but, bottom line is, if you want to achieve something great, find yourself a great coach, someone who understands you, someone who's walked the path that you want to walk. I sometimes like to talk about Disney here, where I went to Disney, and basically there was a proven process that working through coaching questions, right? The right coach, they're going to ask you, how big is your family? What do you want to achieve on this visit? Disneyland or Disney World? And then they're going to ask more questions, and then they're going to say, have you thought about Disney Genie? Do you want to get on one of the resorts to get an hour extra in, things like that? Anyway, I was standing in line, and I remember my goal was to ride all of the roller coaster rides at this one park, and then as many more things as possible, and then get home. Oh, excuse me. And I remember standing in line going, I'm getting anxious here, and maybe I should just go ahead and jump, because there was a very long line in this one particular roller coaster ride. And I thought maybe I should go ahead and just skip to the next, and then could come back to that maybe later in the evening. And then I remembered, no, trust the process. And so I just, when you know that you have a proven process, you can just take a deep breath. And that's what I did. I enjoyed my conversation with my daughter. And then I did the rest of the plan. And long story short, I was able to ride all the roller coaster rides I want to that day and get home before all crazy broke loose. So that's what a coach can give you, right? They can get you there a lot faster and they can give you peace because they've been there on that journey before. So T1 is no more limiting beliefs. Would you like that? No more limiting beliefs holding you back. Would you like to master your time? And we do that in a very simple way. I've got all kinds of ideas, but the reality is there's only a few that you really need to really improve. A lot of these other things are just lots of gimmicks. Okay. And then you want others working for you, and then you want to enjoy those around you, and then handheld support. So that's T5 system, and it works because it's the right system and it's with the right support, and it's because you don't need a degree, you just need desire. You don't if you have faith, if you trust the process, then you can overcome your fear of failure because there's only one next step you need to do at a time. And because you're worth it, I hope you're worth it. I hope you consider just stepping in and this plan, this process. And I won't go into any more. I could go into quite a few more details here. Let me just say this. What I do then is if you continue doing what you've been doing up until now, and ignore the help that's here, why, right? Or you can act on this information. You can start putting the T5 system and strategies and freedom into your life and in your business. And the way that I help with this is I set aside some time to speak to you personally on how you can apply these ideas to your business or your life. I give you about 30 to 60 minutes to speak to you and just really think about a game plan to reach your goals. And it's a very step-by-step thought through. It's 100% free. A lot of people say, how come it's free? And the reason is because I love to help leaders. First of all, it has ripple effects. As leaders get better, everybody wins. Secondly, because I know that some of you are going to get on a call, you're going to see the value of the plan, and some of you will take and run with it. But there's a small group of you that really want to just get there faster and want all the help you can get. And so I do that through coaching, and I can do that group coaching and one-on-one coaching. They're very different in their prices, but I do have a small amount of even one-on-one coaching available, and it's the and I that usually a small group of you would say, "Could you help me with that? Could you help me achieve this?" And yeah, and if that's the case, then I'll throw out an offer if and only if I believe that I can help you 100%. And and then that's how I get paid, if you're just wondering. So this is for a leader of some sort, and you want to make influence for good in the world. And right now, time is your biggest challenge. So if that's you and you would like the help and support, then I'm going to put this in the chat box. I don't know if you can see it. It's actually right now, it's not chatterheart.com/busy leader because I've made some changes. So I'm going to put the right one in here if I can find it. Control V. So yeah, it's calendly.com/Chad Earhart/free. I'll send it. I'll try to send it to you just because I know many of you missed this call, but I am trying to just do this for you just because I know I do try to honor those of you who are on these calls. So if you want to be on it, win it. If you want to be in it to win it, and you'd like some help in figuring it out, you could go to wow.t5system.com, learn more about the people that have been helped. And but if you're interested in time management rocket fuel and how to apply these principles to you, then today is the wonderful offer. It's the perfect time of the year to get started and get your goals going, right? Do you really want to have another year go by or even another week of not achieving what is really important to you? I don't want you to live with regret. So as leaders get better, everybody wins. And I will look forward to talking to you leaders soon. Give me a call and I'll talk to you on the other side. Now, if I can just figure out how to stop this thing. All right. Peace.